No, those instructions are to use this laptop and not a different laptop. I'm going to say a little anecdote, and I'm going to talk about the responsibility of women. There's universal agreement among most women that this is what women need to do. There are no exceptions to the following policy. The anecdote. I heard that one of the past CEOs of Apple Computer hired this guy, said, I'm going to put you in the place of CEO. And I want you to fix the company. So this fully named CEO left an hour later and said, you idiot, you're fired. You have exactly 2 hours to get out of here. Otherwise, the police will show up and complete that process. Your 2 hours start now. Time out of here. 4 p.m. 4:01. Police show up. Yeah, it was a very fast way to get fired. That person is currently in jail for violence that occurred following that. Yeah, no, that whole past CEO of Apple who was CEO for about a week. That they just covered up because that's not CEO. There's exactly one method, please, that a woman may use in most countries, including Japan, for expressing interest in a man. That method must be you state the man's name and then say, I like you. While there exist alternatives, those alternatives are subject to custom review by various Tokyo courts. Apparently, with Nakajima and the Weather News, police female broadcasters, where they were running this policy. He knows I like them. They will either come here and service us or there will be terror. That is not allowed. We don't care how faithful you are to Gundam or whatever. None of those women ever made the required words, William Brosi. They never said those words. Those words are required if they want to make a police test. The problem was is that they ran actual police violations of Tokyo court. Arguably, in the case of Megumi Nakajima, she is doing this BS thinking that's going to force music production in her name. There is no more grievous violation of JASRAC. She at a minimum is going to go to jail for that. The Weather News broadcasters have run this as an attempt to take over the Tokyo District Court. That's obvious. This started with an incident that happened approximately 1 year ago where I attempted to commandeer a server system with the goal of removing the Dojin video game community. That was visible in the United States as an outage of Nico Nico, which was actually out because they said a bunch of crap because there were a lot of Americans who couldn't handle that. Because they said some god crap or so. But the truth is that Nico Nico broadcast server was offline for a period of about 30 days. What happened is we now know and several of the female broadcasters of Weather News used their influence to gain access to police password system. Basically, they said, yeah, you want to kiss? And they said, no, because through the door, that type of crap. And once in the secure access area, they went past the password field. And the thing is, seriously, honestly, they open computers and remove drives. Effort that just told me what they actually did was randomly reconnected network wires. They took that mess that is behind, please, networks. Basically, the problem is what that's equivalent of. As equivalent in the United States, that would be opening an AT&T server box and then changing the wiring randomly. They did the Tokyo Net equivalent of that. They did the equivalent here in America. It would be the action of actually breaking the lock on an AT&T server box, then randomizing the 50 wires are inside there. That creates the action, if that's actually done, that creates the action of sending the subscriber ID to random households. That would cause all the earnings go out because all the computers would say incorrect subscriber. The equivalent of that would be 50 neighbors all swapping those gateways. But somebody running that BS, that bullshit, by doing it at an AT&T server box. What happened is there was simply no one in Tokyo at the moment who understood that problem. So they simply pulled the main disconnect. It was done by a technician under authorization from the Tokyo police to prevent a possible fire. That's a correct assumption and correct action. It took 30 days for engineers from Qualcomm to gain access because they think they had to walk through several policewoman areas, which first had to be removed by Samurai. That was the main delay. They had to wait for a Samurai to remove police J-pop from areas so that the American scientists could go through there without a problem. It then took them approximately 10 days to sort through miles of wiring crap. I was so to make you saw the stuff tied in the hearts and other type of bullshit. Basically, what they did is they left. They came back with a huge thing of police telephone wire. They took a nice lot of crap, which was then sold in stores at a good profit to the Tokyo government. And then they wired it correctly, and then Nico Nico was back online. There was basically, they buried prosecution for that by saying they would behave, but they did not behave. They continuously focused their assault on this station here. The problem is to assault the stations, to assault the United Nations. They know that. They've been very quietly running a thing of how the United Nations would be better if they were queen of Earth. That doesn't work. The most recent assault was probably a planned thing to convince somebody at NVIDIA to run a kill signal to destroy the 9800 here. The problem is you can't use code to advertise any of that. What they should have done is said, hey, we like William Rossi. They should have said that publicly on air. Them attempting to run some type of ghost service is a grievous violation of Japan public civil law. You're not allowed to do that under any circumstances. That defines that ghost as being something designed to hurt people. One assault is all that's needed for the hurting to operate. I think is the pounding we heard is sufficient. The thing is, there would have been violence here if there wasn't Marine action. There would probably also been violence in a lot of police. So the thing is easy to prove violence, please. Again, the problem that's global. That's global. A woman who is interested in a man must walk up to that man and announce in a clear language, I like you. There's a problem is there's a great many women who did that via ASMR over the months. All those women accept the servicing of spirit nights. They all accept that because they all understand that William cannot be with one woman. That's a theft. They understand that. What they do is to make either with him or with several spirits that his work has produced. That's what those Japan ASMR wonderful women do. That's what they do. That's the correct way to please get it on with William. There's no other method allowed. Those same women have universally accepted that it's serious. That physical marriage with him is not appropriate given the number of women who like him. However, none of them say that's impossible, but it's very true that please, neither Nakajima nor any of those web news broadcasters can get what they want by using threats or other types of quote-unquote Dononpachi. Especially since the actual team with Dononpachi says that's wrong. There's no variation here. What they're doing is an out-and-out crime. We need to actually see them. Please, fix the problem which they caused. Seriously, if I was to disappear, Windows 11 would stop existing as a working product. So we need to actually see them put it together, because I think everybody knows I know how to do it. They need to have enough faith to actually get it done. Because it's possible.